We have a quorum. I will call the meeting to order. Make a motion to approve the minutes from both the March 2nd and the March 6th meetings. Have a second? Second. Vote, yes? Yes. Motion carries. Thank you guys all for coming. I'm John Beeler, and your new trustee. My wife Hillary, not Hillary, wife Hillary and I live at the southeast corner of 50th and Tawakoni. Been here since August of 22. A couple of houses on the property. My son John Jr. over here. There's a company called Beeler Creative. He's been doing the media for us for the meetings. I would like to say thank you to all of you for showing up tonight. The support of the township. We care about your opinions and what you have to say. And, regards to these meetings, they're going to be different going forward. I will not be running these meetings the way the past trustee did. I want to hear from you guys. I want to give you an opportunity to talk. I want these meetings to be enjoyable for you. I want them to be enjoyable for the board. I can't imagine, Samantha and Colin, that you guys have enjoyed the last 9 months. Hasn't been pleasant, you know, the tension, just the inability to speak and to comment, and you know, I want everybody to, if you want to come to the meeting, to look forward coming to the meeting. You know, if you don't want to have to come, you feel like you don't want to come to the meeting, you know, you don't need to come to the meeting. And this is your facility. I have everything open, you know, for a reason. This is our facility. You know, please don't go out and climb up inside and climb all over the equipment and everything. But if, you know, you want to take a look at your motor grader, take a look at your skid steer. You know, when the meeting's over, or if you didn't have time to do it before, by all means do it. This is our place. So, to my fellow board members, we're going to talk about some past business tonight. We're going to talk about some new stuff. I just ask that you please listen to what I have to say, and if it makes what I have to lay out, and if it makes sense to you, support me on it. That's my opening statement. Samantha, did you have anything you wanted to say? No? Okay. Colin, did you want to?
Not really. No, Colin never did.
Okay. So
Thanks for serving. Thanks for serving. I know it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have on the agenda the open comment period for township residents. I didn't like the term citizens. Citizens' comments. So if, you know, and I'm not going to say, you know, start here and you got this much time and this much time. You know, if you guys have any comments right now, you certainly can make them. If you want to, you know, if you raise your hand while we're talking about stuff, you know, I'm going to call on you. Everybody, we're so blessed with a wide group of knowledge of people with all kinds of insight that can help this township. So if we're talking about something, you have some good insight to add, you know, I want to hear it. And I want the rest of the board to hear it and take it into consideration. So that's where we'll go. Okay, so old business, we'll start with 50th Street update. I think everybody probably knows that 50th Street is not being turned over, and we've got some stuff here for the board members. I think you guys have seen this before. Joe Vidito, email correspondence. from Joe and Curtis. Everybody at the county has been super helpful. The people in the road department, county attorney. So what I want to go ahead and get voted on, referring back to the March 6th minutes, we had referenced at the November 2025 budget meeting, the board agreed to spend $88,000 to repair the road. So I'm making a motion that we lock in that $88,000, not to exceed the $88,000 to repair the road. I have a second.
I'll second it so we can discuss it, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little confused as to, you're just wanting a dollar amount to,
So
a set budget to spend, or you're wanting
Well,
to
I can talk-
amend the budget to spend that 88,000, we have to amend the budget with the county, which is fine, we can do that.
So we don't have it from the November 25 meeting, we don't have the $88,000 allocated?
We have $88,000 that the previous board said we would put towards that road.
Okay.
Because it is carryover from the previous year.
Okay.
To spend carryover money, you have to amend your budget with the county.
Okay.
I'm not saying, I'm just telling you the steps that have to be.
Yeah, no,
I'm not
no,
saying
thank
it's
you.
Bad, wrong, indifferent, just these are the steps that have to happen. In order to spend that money, we have to amend our budget with the county. Otherwise, we will go over our budget authority and then we'll be in big trouble.
Yeah, no, thank you, and I'm relying on you, you've been doing this for years, to help me with this stuff. So if that's what we need to do to amend the budget, we can accomplish it for well under the $88,000. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and we're gonna dig out the bad sections of the road, and we're going to, and this is,
You're talking
This-
about what Joe sent back?
yeah, you want me to,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
read that?
why don't you read that part?
So I sent to Curtis Mader and to Joe Vidito asking what the county would charge Benton Township to do the layer of chip seal. Brought up the fact that we need to do the tree work.
Yeah, this is good.
So Curtis came back with, he says, I have not received the updated oil bids and prices have increased significantly. Based on last year's numbers, the cost was approximately $16,269 per mile for a single chip seal. After adding labor to prepare and complete the work, the estimated total comes to about $22,270 per mile. There is no markup included in these figures. He says, I recommend hiring a survey to stake the right-of-way. It's my opinion that we do not need to do that. We know where the areas are that we need to work. And we're not going to get up into people's properties. We'll be contacting and talking to the people. Even though if we have the right to trim a tree that's hanging out onto the road, we're still going to talk to the residents that if that tree is actually on their property, even if it's not on their property, we're going to talk to those people before we do that, so everybody knows what's going on. Curtis referred me to Joe. Again, everybody was very helpful and timely. Joe replied, as we discussed in our phone conversation, the bad spots in Southwest 50th need to be dug out and patched with base rock. Once that is complete, it can be directly chip sealed over. The tree should be trimmed back to the right-of-way line at a height of approximately 20 to 25 feet, or the height of a dump truck bed flow extension. Scheduling. They go through and do the Butler County roads first, and then they do the townships. So they've got on here around May 15th, Butler County will begin chip sealing the county roads. Around June 15th or after, county roads will be completed. Butler County will be Around June 15th or after, county roads are completed, Butler County will begin chip sealing township and city roads. All chip sealing completed by July 1 or 1.5 months after the start. Obviously, that's, you know, if it's raining and pouring on them the whole time, yeah, raining. No, okay. Questions on the process?
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
at one point in here, they said that we weren't on the list. Are we back on the list?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'll be in close contact with them and keeping them posted on how the work's done. Yeah, John?
I was just gonna ask, are you gonna address any of the drainage related items?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I didn't hear you say it, so.
Sorry,
Yeah,
so-
no, that's okay.
Fix it, getting the ditch work done, taking care of that so that we're getting the water, where the water's coming up under the road right now, we're gonna address all those areas and get the water away.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ken?
If you notice, if you look at the road, it's my opinion, and I've been around chip seals all my life, well, ever since I was 6 years old. And they did not put down the proper amount of oil on that road before they laid the chips. They put the proper amount of chips on the road. If you look at the road, even today, you will find that the oil did not go completely from the drip line to the next drip line. It went about 2/3.
In the middle?
Everywhere. No, this is, if you stand back and look at the road, if you're driving down it, you'll see a drip here, and that the oil did not make it all the way across the whole
Okay.
place.
I'm gonna bring in, and this, again, we're blessed with experience with our current board. We've got past trustee, we've got road guys here, so I'm gonna let Randy Meisch address that.
That's an argument to have with the county.
Yes.
And there's several things that, you know, we've looked at that we may try to hold their feet to the fire to be better in the future, right? And first of all, I guess I want to thank you guys for being here. Samantha, you've done wonders for this township, okay? I know it's been rough, but you've done wonders for this budget. And I want everybody in here to know that, we were, when I was first here, and I don't want to get too far lost in the weeds here. When I first came here, we were broke, right? And Colin and Samantha and I, we worked. And Samantha, bless her heart, really worked harder than I feel someone should have had to, of putting all that together, you know? And, you know, Colin has done great for us, and even Candace sitting over here just completely thankless, doesn't even get acknowledged whatsoever. That
I moved her up to a better spot, I got her a better chair.
You know, so.
Not thankless now.
You know, but anyway, you know, I guess there's enough of us out here too, is I don't want anybody in the township to think that we're trying to just push all the resources towards that one stretch of road, because there's a lot of people that don't. That being the case, is, you know, when we come to, you know, preparation, is digging this out, is, you know, Tom and I have both, like, raised our hands to volunteer to, like, help prepare the ditches if we could just have the material, you know? And so, but yes, Kent, to answer your question, there's several things that are going on that, as far as the overlap and not enough oil and stuff like that we are addressing. But when that happened, we were literally just taking the advice solely of the county, because they were the professionals. They've done it time and time again. They told us what we needed to do. We done that thing. They done it from there. And then we learned from there that that was the bare minimum. We probably should have went a little bit further. But I guess, you know.
And now we know, we've learned.
Yeah,
We've gone through the first process, and now we're getting ready to go through this thing a second time. We're getting input from you guys, we're getting input from the county. We know what we need to do, you know, and I don't know if mandate is the right word, but I mean, we've basically got a mandate, you know, to fix this road. I mean, from the residents and from, you know, the county commissioners. Daryl.
Well,
Who doesn't care about this road?
I think I
I
know
understand.
where
she's headed with this. Is this a budgetary number? Is this a swag number? Is this, all the amount of money that you have to put towards that? Because generally you don't start with a number and then work up to the bid. Usually get your bid and get your pieces together and decide what you're going to do before you allocate funds. Now, I can understand if that's all you've got to put to it. I mean, but if it's 22 grand a mile to do the chip seal, you only have a mile of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now where's the other expense coming from? Because that's an enormous amount of money if it's the chip seal 22 grand, which is gonna be,
So
the
he-
bulk of your expense, or should be.
He says it, yeah, he says that it may be, so it may increase some from there. Yeah, I'm absolutely, I don't know where the 88 came from. I'm absolutely wanting that to be a do not exceed, and we should come in substantially under that. For a number of reasons, which I'll go, sorry. So the 88 came from,
It was the overage from last year.
okay.
Okay, so that's the
Okay.
total amount you have available to put towards that project and other projects, or?
Yep.
We can put it towards whatever projects we want. That is just we've got leftover from last year, and we have to do something with this road. Okay, we don't have any. So the way we do our budget is we have, for example, this year we said we were going to spend $241,000 on road material. That's rock hauling, that's digging ditches, that's doing culverts, so all of that for the whole 73 miles or whatever we're at now for the township. And so in that, you've got about $25,000 a month to work with, which sounds like a lot of money, but it doesn't go very far. And so we didn't have any extra money in the budget for over and above chip seal. We were hearing numbers anywhere from 50,000 to 80,000 to 250,000. And so at that meeting, we said, okay, we have this overage we're projecting, we did that in November. I was projecting that we were gonna have this $88,000 overage. And so we said, okay, that's money that we could put towards that road.
So I've been to 2 meetings, and the first meeting I came to, I heard Ted, whatever the other road grader, the first road grader, Ted, TC.
Ted Coleman.
He was talking about one approach, and then the board was talking about some enormous program of redoing that road. So I guess I'm wondering, what approach are you?
Those numbers that were thrown out from $250,000 to $1 million that the previous trustee threw out, along with several other rules and things of whether we could or could not do things, were completely wrong, completely inflated. Last week I spent almost 2 hours with the county attorney going over all kinds of things and getting clarification for this. And it's very important that we get these things in the minutes tonight. First of all, we 100% can use
Okay, hold
any
on.
resident help.
Sorry, hold on. We have a motion on the table that we need to take care of, and then we can go
What do you
on.
want to do? What's the motion?
You made the motion.
Okay, well, I forgot now.
$88,000.
Yeah, so, all right, if we want to, we can take that 88 back off the table.
Okay, so just rescind your motion.
I rescind my motion.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay,
Now,
Anyway.
carry on.
very important.
John,
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When the previous trustee resigned, he also had the position of road overseer.
He's resigned from that as well.
Okay, so before we start making decisions on the road and going through the process,
Yeah.
is there a plan to replace the road overseer?
Yeah, that's on tonight's agenda.
Okay.
Sorry, Jake, will you grab some of the agendas to hand out? Oh, you got some extra. There's some more out there.
Thank you.
My other son, Jake, my partner. Okay. We 100% can use volunteers, resident help, you take advantage of vendor discounts. We've got Andale Construction, we've got Industrial, we've got APAC. We're blessed. And we've got all these road companies, you know, right in here, our very own township. So we'd be foolish not to take advantage of that. And it's my intention that we take advantage of that. Now, and that's from my meeting with the county attorney. If you guys have seen the video, you also heard it from the county commissioners. You know, they told the previous trustee, yeah, you know, you had volunteers out there willing to give you the oil and do this and do that, and you said you're going to call the sheriff on them. And you know, that's another thing that you've noticed about my meetings. After I was sworn in, I was sent to right there by the sheriff's place, so I meandered on over to the sheriff's office, and I said, hey, I just want to make sure there's nothing standing with our township that you're going to have deputies show up at every single meeting. I said, because it's just not necessary. I said, don't get me wrong, we're big backers of the Blue, we love those guys. I said, but I don't need one or two of them standing in the corner over and over people in a meeting. If we have a problem, I'll call you. So, anyway, so we've got the availability. We've got companies that want to donate their time and their resources and their materials. So while I'm on that, another part of, we're going to get into our employment situation. We can also use from vendors. Say we have a vendor that wants to loan us an operator to come in and use and run our motor grader. We can do that. We can do that as long as we get all. We just have, there's some simple insurance stuff that I have to provide we have to provide to the insurance company, and then that can be done. I clarified that with our insurance company this morning. So, okay, I want to make another motion because from the March 6th meeting, there was a motion made by you, Samantha, that we put a hold on tearing out the road. So I'm making a motion that we are not just putting a hold on that we are going to repair the road and so that the county can come in according to their schedule and do the new single layer of chip seal on their time frame.
Second.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. Blah, blah, blah. We've got to vote.
Place a vote, but
You gotta ask for discussion.
okay. You want to discuss it?
I'm sorry. I'm a little leery of being trapped in a lot of things, so we're gonna follow, as best I know how, the rules of a meeting. So.
Whose rules?
Robert's Rule of Order.
Robert's Rules of Order.
Where is he?
Hand slapped a bit, so we're being very cautious right now.
No, I appreciate the help, but just so you know, we don't have to.
Okay.
But
Doing the best we
If you want to throw it out the window, that's fine.
No, I just want it to be.
At the time I put together my price, it was $15,000 in base rock is what I estimated at the time. I walked the whole thing and measured it. It's probably grown a little bit since then, but I think that's a important thing to throw out there for everyone, I guess, on fixing the road.
And that's digging it out and the base rock?
That's the
That's
material.
As a material, okay.
As we walk that actually, and so a lot of those places that I think we're talking about, not 100% sure there's actual base failure with the absence of a ditch, right? And so there's a lot of places that the water is following the rock, like the ledge rock, and coming in under the road. There's one place where we actually dug it out. I mean, it was dug out. I think Mike actually dug it out, and it fixed that spot. So there's a few more places that we feel that if the ditches was just dug, it probably wouldn't have a base failure. So some of these base failures are probably not actually failures.
Makes sense.
So one step at a time.
Yeah, and I want to address too, real quick, raise your hand if you live south of 254. Okay, raise your hand if you live north of 254. So, okay. Thank you guys for being here. I want you to know that I have driven what's our mileage number, Mike? Is it 72 or 73, 74?
Well, if you take the township by the square and you add it together, that's your 36 square miles, but you gotta figure you're working two sides of the road, so basically takes you to 72 total, but then you gotta subtract all the county roads and boundaries, and then you get down to about, you're somewhere around 50 miles of road.
Okay, I've driven them all. Everything this, obviously, yes, I'm passionate about 50th. I've said this to 10,000 people if I've said it to one person. We bought our house on 50th and then bought a second house on the property because that road was chip sealed. Okay, so I didn't die about that. I am taking this responsibility very, very seriously, and I will serve everybody in the township, north and south, if you want to call it that. But I'm out driving. I ran into Jason last week when I was out on my four-wheeler looking at stuff, talked about some tree stuff there, been in contact with Daryl. So please tell your neighbors, share my contact information. It's all important. Sorry, I don't want to stray too much. So back to the motion, to remove it being just put on hold and switching it over to saying that we're going to repair it. Budget to repair would be, I guess, the next thing that we need to kind of tear into, but I want to get that taken care of. Do I have a...
Right, the second to cut it off happened, right? Second and approves, that's motion passed. Word
Well,
two.
You gotta vote.
So I vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
We got a good team.
Yes, absolutely.
It takes a team.
Let's talk some more about it. Let's talk some more about a budget number.
Well, some of us are.
So, can I say something?
Yeah. So.
Kyle Fox, my next door neighbor, approached your predecessor. Kyle is a,
He works for Ergon, so oils and materials is what his.
and he works with the county to build their roads. He works all over the state to build roads. He approached Tony about helping, and he's got the ability to get cheap product, and he was flatly turned down. Now I know he's offered to. I don't want to make promises for him, but he has offered to help, and he can help you get through this and make certain that he addresses this problem. I mean, he's out on those projects every day, so I mean, he's willing to do that, and that way you might get your budget number. You might get a better road for a better price.
Well, we absolutely can. What if we did? I would make a motion that we table the budget that we have a budget number for fixing 50th by next month's meeting.
We don't have to have a motion for that.
Okay. So we'll get everything in a row, figure out who's going to do what, and then we can get our budget down and get this taken care of. Okay, next item is the tree trimming and debris cleanup. So I've been in touch with the tree trimmer, Aaron from Freedom Terrain. I think so far they've primarily done the trimming on 10th and 15th between Meadow Arc and Prairie Creek. We discussed it in a previous meeting. The debris that was left over. I know, Colin, you had mentioned the concern about that. I've seen that on my rides and drives of the road. Jason's been cleaning up some stuff on his own. He's got one good-sized culvert at the corner of 10th and Prairie Creek that's completely clogged. from that debris. I know, I went back and I was looking through the minutes, and it was mentioned, that, you know, Colson and Brent could go and clean up that debris. I'm definitely gonna be talking with the tree trimmer some more about how do we do a better job to not have so much of that debris in the first place, if that's possible.
Well, a little bit of information on that, John. I did talk to him when Jason brought it up to me.
Okay.
And when I talked to him, he said, well, that wasn't what he was told to bid on. He was told to just trim the trees and take off the big pieces. That he was not asked to do any debris cleanup.
Okay.
So if we're gonna do that, which, you know, I would like to see it cleaned up personally.
It's
We've
gotta
had
be.
that conversation before.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get some updated bids. He said he could do it, but he just did not bid. at that
He's
time.
basically on hold,
Yeah.
he's got 50th prioritized, because he knows that we have to do that. He's not doing anything yet on 50th until he meets with me out there and we specify, you know, exactly what's gonna be done. But the rest of it's on hold. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just whatever you guys choose to do, the way he did it. So he's got the big rotors, and he's throwing, you know, 2 foot by 1 to 2 inch pieces of tree into our property, like 50 feet in.
I
So-
walked it,
Yeah.
saw what's out there.
So for wherever else he goes, I mean, the landowner's gonna have hedge, which people use for fence posts the last decades. I mean, so now we got this tree, all that debris scattered through our fields. So just whatever you guys decide to do going forward, I'd make sure whatever machine's being used, it's not slinging that stuff into the property.
So who did the work for the township north of Parallel? Because theirs was perfect. I've got ground up there. They had it cleaned up. It was perfect. There wasn't any of this debris.
Okay,
And they just did it in the last 6 months.
I will call that township trustee and find
I don't
out.
know who.
I can tell you that's
Just
probably
said
one
right
of the
up
boozing
there.
it's or inches up there, and they broke it off and they picked it up, hauled it off, kept mulching it.
Yeah.
It was clean. It was clean from,
I'm not sure of the company, I just know it was one of them up north in that territory, but I know what they did, they broke it off and sawed it off, and then they picked the brush up and they hauled it off, instead of mulching.
So that's gonna be
Right.
significantly more expensive.
It's gonna cost you.
Maybe.
It's typical that Aaron does a lot of work in a lot of these townships, and it's been typical that people have used whatever piece of equipment there is to pull up all of the shavings, because it does blood culverts. I've heard that, but
And right now on 10, you couldn't drag 10 if you tried, because if you go try to pull that gravel from the side, you're gonna pull tree. I mean, you're gonna have a whole row of tree in the middle of the road and trying to pull it back over.
I don't know if they got out and worked some on 15th on some of the cleanup. Do you know, Mike, whether Colson
I
and
can
Brent?
tell you
Because
all that-
15th looked a little better to me than 10th.
I can tell you what they did, they picked up the bigger stuff, the stuff that didn't get chopped up, but also over there on 15th, you had the pipeline going through there, and they was cleaning up, so I'm sure the pipeline company cleaned
Got
up a
some of
little
it.
bit of it for us. I know there's still some spots that still need cleaned up, 'cause I drive that.
Yeah.
But that was all happening when the pipeline was getting done and doing their reclaim work, so I'm sure, a few of the landowners said, hey, can you grab that for us? And I'm sure the pipeline did, just knowing.
But did Brent and Colson go out and spend some days doing some
I
cleanup?
do know they went out talking to Brent and stuff, that they did go out there. They wasn't happy about it, but they went out there.
Okay, thank you.
Can you get the name of that company for us, Mike? Or?
I don't even know what the township's name is.
I'll call and find out.
It's up in Murdoch Township.
Murdoch Township, that's where.
Or if you want, I mean, you've been all over the tree trim. You want to tackle that?
Yeah,
I've got plenty to do.
It might take you a day or two to get a hold of one of them boys.
I'll track them down.
Yeah, it's,
honest, a call on Douglas and Walnut Township use another guy. I'll send you his number.
Okay.
That typically just kind of cuts the stuff and like puts it in piles, and then they come up with their mini excavator or skid steer and then haul it off.
I'll call them both. see
I'll
what we
send
come
you
up
his
with.
number and whatever his deal is. But
Okay, appreciate it. Ricky.
yeah.
I don't know if I need to make a motion to something on the agenda, the cemetery headstone repair. Since we've got so much to go over tonight, I want to table that to the next
You
meeting.
don't have to do it.
Okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. I will just mention, the very nice lady named Lois Young that lives over here. She's done a lot of work. I've been in regular contact with her. She was gonna come tonight. I talked to her earlier. I said, I don't think we're gonna have time to get into all that stuff, so. But I think we're gonna be able to do some exciting things for our cemeteries. Okay, the employee handbook, job descriptions, update. I've kind of looked through it. We kind of need to slide that down and jog back to that when we get to some of the stuff in the new business. The rock update from the March 2nd, Samantha, you stated you had put together a comparison.
I mentioned it to you guys on Saturday. I have
Looks to me like it's almost cheaper to get the rock from down south.
but the trucking is the problem.
Yeah, I added that in though.
I don't know.
Looking at the different kind of rock.
It's good rock.
So you just have the sheets, you didn't have take what we were buying and put it in a specific comparison. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna do that next month.
We'll work on that. Let's move on to the next item, FEMA update. Colin, do we have any?
Really, there's no update. We have another meeting with Mike Hamilton on Wednesday. It's been a trying experience, I'll put it that way. We're still trying.
Government.
I didn't realize that. I mean, the amount. Well, we've gotten a decent amount over how much have we gotten from you over the last 2 or 3 years?
Well, in 19, we lost a ton of money.
Lost money to them?
Oh, yeah.
We have to pay them?
We didn't have to pay it, but we lost out on a lot of money. On the other one, we didn't do bad. I think we got pretty much what we asked for on that.
Specifically, why did you lose that?
No documentation of labor hours.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
We're gonna talk about that.
As far as this one goes, they're coming out with new regulations. When I talked to the guy last week, he said, oh yeah, they've added this on now. And it's kind of like, really?
That applies to ours that we've already started?
Yeah.
Probably on your 15th FEMA person.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, we've got our same one. The last time we had 4 or 5 different managers that we had to work with, and the last 2 or 3 didn't even bother to show up. They just sent a note saying, hi, I'm Pete, and that was it. So anyway.
Thanks for serving.
Yeah, no kidding. Colin has worked wonders and spent a lot of countless hours dealing with those FEMA people. Samantha has done the same, so kudos to you two. Holy moly. I mean, it's hard for anybody out here to appreciate what these two have done, but they have done a lot for that.
We're still working on it, and hopefully, he called me last week and he said, I don't understand what you're doing, and it's kind of like, you're the FEMA guy. You're supposed to know. We're the ones that don't know what we're doing.
You were going to guide us. Remember, you guys were going to guide us. You were going to tell us what to do, remember?
So I finally convinced him.
Right, that's what I kept saying.
I finally convinced him, we need to sit down again and you need to tell me, because the guy talks and he'll start a sentence and then he'll do a different topic. And then we'll go to the third topic. Anyway, we're going to meet with him Wednesday and try to finalize it.
Hey, let it go, Candace. He's got to get it out. You got to get it out.
I hear it all the
Thank
time.
Better you than the rest of us.
I mean, if we get
Wednesday at 2 is our next meeting.
anything we get is great. Yeah, and I know you guys were both in here last week. So you were spending, how many hours you spending? You spent an hour? You spent 2 hours? More?
I think last week we were here, an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. Okay, the county noxious weed proposal, that was brought up in past meetings, and the previous trustee said that we or he would handle that himself. After I was nominated, the county reached out to me and said, hey, we understand you're the new trustee, want to go over the program with you again. I had seen this in the minutes before. I can't imagine that we can do it for what they're willing to do it for.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're exactly right. The problem is you hire the county to do it and they won't do it. And they'll get around to you like in October.
Right.
And I don't know if you know
That's why
that,
we voted it
you
down.
don't know the
Okay.
condition of the weeds in October.
That's,
So
well,
it's-
yeah, I want
It's
them
a
to in
double-edged
October.
sword because we've fallen prey to that many of times. Like, holy crap, we can't even do it for what they're charging.
Right.
But they don't get out there and do it. So, I mean, if you can get somebody that works for you to attack your problem areas,
Yeah, so
You're-
that, I
you're
mean,
gonna
that
be
moves,
better
that
off.
is gonna go down into the new business area and talking about our current staffing
They-
situation, and that's
they-
why I brought it up.
they have too much to do. They won't get to you.
We
The
paid-
county won't, even no matter, you're pretty sure.
Okay, so last year they were slightly better, but the year before that, they sprayed Johnson grass in October. How much are you controlling Johnson grass when you wait and spray it in October?
There you go.
Zero.
There you go. There you go.
Like,
I got it. I have to get his number, but there's a guy that retired or quit a lawn business, and he's been doing a few select townships close to home. He doesn't want to work a lot, but he's not too far north of here.
But we
I
can
can-
get the chemical at cost from the county.
I understand.
But he probably
I'm-
getting the same thing, but I could get you his number and he could come talk to you.
My deal is just having an employee to do it, which we don't right now.
Well, this guy would come in and do it as a contract,
That's
not like
fine.
that.
It's fine, yeah, if you can give
I'll
me
get
his
you
information.
information.
But, okay, yeah, thank you guys for letting me know that, yeah, cause I'll go back to them and
It's
say,
good
hey, I
information
don't,
now. Good information
I mean,
now.
I may ask him that, say, hey, if you come out and treat me on June 1st, yeah, you got yourself a deal, but October, September, no way, forget it, okay. No.
Jack will spray them weeds for you. He ain't got nothing going on.
I was just over there and jumped that kid back spring, Brian, he's not doing really good.
Sorry, I meant to give you guys a copy of it, I think I forwarded that to you already, but you'll throw that away, whatever. New business. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to take advantage of what I said before of the people that we have in our township and that we have here in this room tonight. And I would like to make a motion to appoint Thomas Wilson and Randy Meisch as co-road overseers. Do I have a second?
I'll second it so we can discuss it.
Open for discussion.
So these guys will do a beautiful job, and I think having co-road overseers, like, shouldn't we just have one person? So we have, when you have a partnership, somebody better be 51%, somebody better be 49%, or you're gonna run into issues.
Neither one of us want to control anything. You guys are the board. You guys make the decisions. That being, you know what I mean. And you guys, as a group, need to make those decisions. And these are just my opinions, okay? And I might be wrong on my opinions, but we'll give all the advice in the world, right? But it's you guys that need to actually make the decisions. Now, whether you use our advice or don't use our advice, I'm completely okay with that. You know, but that's basically it. You know?
One of my reasons is so that we have somebody with their kind of expertise and with their knowledge all the time. So that if one of them has to be out of town for some reason, and I have an operator or I have a resident who has an urgent situation and that has to be addressed, I am not in a position to meet with that operator or that resident and refute one side for the most part over another. That's not what I do. There's other things, if you want to talk about an irrigation or a pool problem, I will be right there with the best of them, but I don't think that we need a irrigation overseer. So that's the reason for having a co-overseer, so that the employees and the residents that we've got somebody available.
And that's just it. If I had enough time to do it the whole time, I would be.
Sometimes he's gonna be out of town. Sometimes he's gonna be out of town. And they're both awesome. They both know their stuff like there's no tomorrow. Anybody wants to ask a question?
Overselling.
I don't care. I think it's great. I just question having.
Very valid point.
Well, I mean, that being said, I mean, seriously, just between us, how would you handle that? You know, make him the boss and make me second.
That's not my
We
motion.
can-
Colonel, lieutenant, how do we,
I
how is
can
that?
amend, I can
Colonel,
amend my
lieutenant?
motion to make Randy the senior overseer and Tom the junior overseer.
There you go.
The other way.
I don't know how that goes. We just have, there's a form that they both have to fill out. We have to submit it to,
But,
the county engineer does have to approve it first, and then we have to get them bonded. It's $100 per bond.
the thought, you're not gonna
Both willing
offend
to
me,
do it, right?
honestly,
I mean, just to
if you
clarify.
wanna go a different direction.
We don't
I
want-
won't
I
be
don't have
offended
anybody
at
else
all.
who, I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
I need, when Daryl calls me about an issue on his roads, or Jason calls me about an issue up there, or when you guys calls about an issue with 50th, or an area in Briarcliff, I need somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about, that can go and meet with the resident timely. So, you know, we're getting more time, we're getting more availability. Again, we're talking about volunteers, just like we are, in our time. So I really would strongly encourage that the board take advantage of their willingness to do that.
In between the two of us, we went back and forth and we agreed that it would be best if we did a co-overseer, just with both of our
As
schedules
in-
and obligations.
As in, because that's it. I mean, we both got a lot of irons in the fire, but between the two of us, I mean, however you want to look. I mean, I want everybody here to be successful. I
So
want you.
who do they, and this is just a logistics question that we can narrow down later, I suppose, but when we finally get an operator, who do they call first?
So that's gonna come up next with the organizational chart that I have proposed, okay?
Well, you know, I guess.
You just wear them expressions right
After
here.
3 months, you guys hate each other, then we'll reevaluate and should change it.
That's what this is. This, you put this
Like
together and
Colin
it flows.
says, I'm not-
People.
I'm an adult here. If it's not working, do something different. I'm just here to help. If it's not gonna work out, if you have somebody better, be careful.
John,
Okay,
you got
yes.
a motion on the floor
Yeah,
and
do I,
seconded.
so do I have a motion to?
I just said, you got a motion, it's been seconded, you need to vote on it.
Okay, I vote yes for the co-overseers.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Okay, so I have your contact information. I'll need your contact information. There's a whole big long form you have to fill out that I have to submit to the bank, and then you have to get bonded before you can actually make any decisions as the overseer.
Hey, you're gonna make the decisions. I'm just gonna give you my opinion.
I just say.
You're gonna hear my opinions. You make the decision.
They don't like my opinion.
All right. What?
Carry on.
I got that. I do like your opinion. All right. Samantha and I got a brother-sister thing going on.
Oh, is that what?
All right. The next item is the staff and employee update, and that's we have 18-year-old Colson Marshall. And Mike is a cemetery sexton. I know you've been doing other things. Let's ask you questions. I appreciate you being here. I don't know what else you've been filling in for, but I mean, you don't come in every day.
No, but.
Do you want to?
You couldn't for me now. But
I
I can fill in till, if you need somebody to do something, I'll do it.
appreciate that. I cannot say enough good things about 18-year-old Colson Marshall. That's who's been coming in and opening up our building every day, and closing the building every day. He's been going out and mowing. That's about all he's can do right now. So since the last meeting, the trustee resigned. And he also resigned as overseer. Our operator resigned. And one of you guys want to give an update on Brent?
Brent is facing some medical issues right now, and he is unable to come back, so he also resigned. So, Brent, if you're a praying person, pray for Brent.
Please, yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
So, probably the best road grader we ever had was Ted. Any way that we can get him back?
That would be great.
We're gonna discuss that, but that's gonna rub these guys wrong. And
A lot involved there. A lot involved.
let's
Is there? I mean, I'm not. Is there?
Is there a way to get him back?
No. A lot involved there because.
There's a lot there. Can we
Oh.
carry on?
we're gonna come back to let's so that's our
Right now, Randy.
that's our staffing.
Okay. I'm just.
Yes, there's a lot involved.
That's our staffing situation. We are in dire straits. I mean, and when so I mentioned I don't know roads. What I do know are people, and I know organizations. Before I do what I did now, my son Jake, wave Jake. Jake and I are partners. We work on sprinkler systems and pools, and that our company is small, and it's Jake and I for a reason. Before I did what we're doing now, I founded and operated a very large company, Suburban Landscape Management. It still exists in Wichita. I sold it in December of 2007. At my peak, I had 190 employees. When I took this position on, my first question is, who's opening the building? You know, how are things being handled? Who's telling who what to do every day? And it's kind of a double whammy where we didn't really have any sort of a structure, and then everybody, for one reason or another, is not here anymore. So we need a structure that the board and that the employees, and these are always completely fluid. I'm going to hold this up for everybody. This is my proposed. I skipped over the township hiring procedure. We can include these two. This is what I am proposing. We've already addressed the first part, and this is always fluid. So we have our co-overseers, and I want to create the position of an operations manager, because that's the person that we need to open the building every day, to watch over all of our equipment every day, to make sure that our FEMA documentation is being done properly, to make sure that our insurance is being followed by our employees. I talked to the insurance company today. They haven't received a driver's list since 2004, or 24. Nobody sent one in last year. I don't even.
Nobody's driving.
You can't. We shouldn't hire anyone. We shouldn't put anybody on the payroll. So I'm going to jump back to what our township hiring procedure is, because in looking back through the minutes, all I see is Ted is gone, and then Cole shows up. So if you guys could walk me through what our hiring procedure is, and how we have people out on the roads driving who our insurance company doesn't even know about.
Our insurance company does know about them, and I do have my email and phone, well, I guess I can pull phone records where I told them who we hired and added them to the list, and so.
That's good.
I would never do anything by phone. So I talked to Talon. Is that who you spoke to? At Ag Agency?
No, our agent is Zachary Enriquez, and I've done everything with Zach, and
That's what she gave me his information.
so
She sent me.
they haven't asked for a list. I just always call in when somebody gets hired and or leaves. I called them when Ted got hired, and I said, hey, we have a new operator. I need you to add Ted. I called him when Tony started as trustee. Hey, we have a new trustee. He might be running equipment. I need you to add him. Ted left. I called him and said, hey, take Ted off. He's no longer with us. Add Cole. I sent him Cole's driver's license and all of that
Okay,
stuff.
I believe you, but first of all, we can't hire somebody without first clearing them through whether they're able to drive. They've got to run a DMV check, and they've got to be approved. I mean, you can't just hire somebody and then say, call the insurance company. The insurance company's going to run their driver's check, and they've got 6 moving violations and a DUI.
Blow and go.
And you know, next thing you know, I mean, I've been through a bazillion of these. And you keep, if you got a key person, you know, you're going to be on that guy. Say, I do not want to lose you. I want to tell you some things. I may know you like to go out to the bar and have a few drinks or something like that. Guess what? You get any kind of infraction, you get some kind of a DUI, we're going to have to buy an assigned risk policy to cover you. We need you. That assigned risk policy is going to cost 10 grand a year, and you're going to have to pay for that, one way or another. And you can't just yank it out of their pay. It's got to be in a document, an employee handbook. But anyway, this is what she sent me. She said, we haven't had one of these since 24.
Well, that's because this is the first time I've seen it.
Well,
Yeah. What?
Did you mention he's passionate?
I want everybody to be successful.
Are
Everybody.
you calling me passionate? I'm fired up.
Passionate.
Okay.
That's
So,
good.
I
good.
trust me. I want to tell you, I'm doing this. I'm taking it seriously.
But I think you need to realize too, John, that Samantha and Colin, they vet these resumes that come through. I mean, they look them over with a
Yeah.
fine tooth comb. They're just not gonna let anybody that doesn't know how to run a road grader hire them.
I understand. I'm not saying that. I'm just sorry. Sorry. Thank you.
I don't think you meant it.
And if you know, you guys can say, look, if I'm being an a-hole, raise your hand. John, you're being an a-hole. Tom says being passionate. So please.
We're all team here.
Yeah. No, so I didn't mean to be that. I'm not. I get fired up. No, I was not attacking you. I'm just saying we can't hire somebody. I want to make that very
Talk to me about
clear.
this operations manager, because the
Okay.
first thing I look at this and says, oh look, we're hiring middle management. Out of what budget?
That would. Okay.
Talk to me about it. What is this position?
I'm not gonna.
What do they do?
We're gonna have to write that. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I need Ted Coleman back.
Okay. I will be all done. If you bring Ted Coleman back, I will be all done. He was okay with collateral damage, and you can say whatever you want to, that he was only out for Tony, and that's fine. But he was okay with collateral damage of Colin and I.
I know.
Okay?
I
He
know.
made my life a living hell.
I know he did.
And you're asking to bring him back.
Can I ask
You
a
are
question?
disrespecting me, John.
That's not my intention.
Okay.
I want what's best for the township. We
Okay.
can talk this through. I want you guys to I want to have a discussion
That's fine.
about
don't know
about what has that. So you share with us. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons. Daryl.
So, I don't know anything about you guys' past or what your history is, whether you've been employers or employees or, I have a lot of CDL drivers. What he just said is exactly right. My insurance agent cannot put a driver on my insurance. I have to go through and the insurance company has to vet them and give me approval, and I get turned down all the time. It's unbelievable. what's
You get
on
excited
the
about
driver.
somebody and you find out.
That's it. I'm a look forward guy. I have a lot of Teds working for me, maybe 50 Teds. Of the 800, it's at least 50 Teds. Those are proud people. That superintendent level, someone that knows how to drive and be responsible with that piece of equipment. There are almost no road grader people anymore because that's, there's very few road graders and there's very few people that really know how to run them. And where I live, I come by the cemetery and then I own this ground across the street. This township's had a productivity problem forever. Productivity, none. I see them sitting around for hours on their phone, and so when Ted came, and my road was horrible, and I can tell you the people up north, I'm not going to speak for them, but I can tell you that they're just as angry about the road as they got people down on 50th Street worried about what happened down there. That's all behind us. you're not going to find, it's almost impossible for me to find someone willing to work like Ted did. I will tell you, whatever went on here between Tony and the board and Ted's a passionate man. From what I don't know him. I've literally seen him here a couple of times and stopped him once on my road. He's clearly a proud and passionate man. The first meeting I was here, he was absolutely disrespected, much like everybody in this room has been. And he acted emotionally, and I'm not surprised because, like I said, I have a bunch of Teds and they act emotionally. I'm surprised he didn't come off the machine and get in a fight with Tony, because my guys do that all the time. Sometimes I have to fire them, sometimes I can keep them, but the fact of it is, they're very proud, and they invest their heart and soul in what he's done, and I'm going to bet he was a good employee prior to Tony.
I had noted in the minutes that we gave him a raise last April.
So I don't, I'm hoping that we move forward.
Yeah, and what happens when he gets angry again about something else? And he comes with all of his stuff and trumped up charges and slinging anything and everything at the wall, and when he might be your best friend now, what happens when he turns on you? And then we have to go through all of this again.
And I can tell you that he's not my best friend. I know what his qualifications are, and I speak to the same things that Daryl speaks to in, number one, trying to find somebody for that position, and also the amount of people that I had in my employ over the years who left under horrible circumstances, who put me through the kind of hell that I know, have an idea of. I don't know specifically what you guys did. I have an idea because I've been through so I'm using my imagination here, and I know the amount of paperwork that he can generate. I've had employees who have left under ugly, bad circumstances, have been gone for a little bit, come back, and been there. They're still at Suburban Landscape today. It came back completely different, had a great relationship. You want to talk about the word, operator. If you put operator behind Ted's name. Ted is a unicorn. 75% of the Teds are going to have a different O behind their name, and it's called owner. Because somebody that can go out and operate all those pieces of equipment in the shop, can train somebody to operate all those pieces in the shop, watch over the shop, and then at the same time take care of all the paperwork.
Well, then maybe he should go be an owner somewhere else.
Luckily, there's some people that are not interested in doing that.
You have a valid point, absolutely. That needs to be addressed, but
A general
Ted,
statement, we were being investigated by the Kansas Attorney General. It went that high.
And we're attacked by Ted.
Yes.
And he initiated that investigation against us.
Yeah, when you attack somebody.
Against who? Colin Perry and Samantha Morgan?
Yes.
The township board. And we're part of that board. So we were drug into the battle that he was having with
The
us.
board, he named
thank
you.
you for serving.
We were named.
Ted is a good operator. And
I'm not arguing with that.
I agree
He
with
is.
Daryl's point, is that
And you have to take all of it, right? It's just like you live in the country and you have dust. You take the good with the bad. But I'm not willing to take Ted's bad because of his good. So if that is the direction that you want to go, that's fine. I will bow out because I am that passionate. You get passionate, I'm that passionate about this. I am not willing to go there again and go through that again.
Well, let's look at what the options are and how long we can go without somebody in place.
Well, Mike offered to help. He's run the road.
I'm not talking about an offer for. I appreciate that, and we're going to need that, and we're going to need, as I mentioned, I've cleared it with the insurance. Thomas has offered to loan us operators to run our equipment, and I've cleared that with insurance that we can do that. So if we get in a bad spot. But what happens if we have another rain like we had last May? And the roads are all torn to bejesus. And I'm not talking about just, we gotta address the here and now, and then we've gotta address, where we want our township to be in a year, in 2 years, and 5 years. That's gonna come up at the next meeting in 2. We've been discussing it. We want a plan. What's our 1-year plan? What's our 2-year plan? What's our 5-year plan? My goal is to make Benton Township a model for every other township in Butler County. And we can do that by putting things like this in place, right what you guys have started with, and a good employee handbook, great job descriptions, and fostering a healthy work environment. Ted didn't do anything wrong when he was on the job. He got bullied, just like the rest of us did. He got bullied by the past trustee. He was treated terrible by the past trustee. I just ask for you guys to consider that in weighing the pros and the cons, and we can bring up other pros, but
I don't know. I don't know what the history was, Ted, and I don't care. Don't want to know. You guys have your own opinions, and I don't want to change that at all. Right? But I do know when it came to the records, right? He done a fair job of keeping those up, better than the 2019, right? Of keeping that going. Now what happened, I don't know. Or as he understood the assignment, right? As far as crown and keeping water off the road. You're squeaky wheels like old Jason Cubic here. Took care of it. Your Daryl Grams took care of that. You know when I was on the board there for a while, I cringed when it would rain because I get a lot of calls. I mean, a lot of calls about some things. And I know what the call was about because I already seen it. Roads were flat, water wasn't getting off the road. I know people were going, through that. And it is what it is. Ted pretty quickly made that happen. Now, none of the roads were perfect, but he also understood the assignment that do the best that you can with what you have, because every road that you have out there is 1 3-inch rain away from being ruined again, and then it's, a continuous cycle. But
could we look
all things considered, once again, that's just where I was at.
If we handle Ted,
No, I'm
that make
out.
a difference?
No, I'm out.
Would you be open to discussing any options in that regard to say that we're setting these parameters, and it's, John, it's your responsibility at the top of this spot right here.
At the
And
top of
if he-
this spot is the whole board.
I
So if he
understand.
takes down one person of the board, we're all going down together. No.
But
Crap happens in life. Okay, we had a whole pile of crap fall on this situation. I relied on Randy to brief me on how things were. I don't know how many years ago. If you could go, and some of you that have been around for much longer than I have, if you could recap prior to Ted, when Ted came on, what happened, and some of the rest of you seen what the roads were. And sorry, I'll give you just a second. John, sorry, I didn't forget about you.
No, I just had a simple question. Do we already have a road grader position open now?
It's up on Indeed right now.
How long has it been up this
A week, 2 weeks. Wait, when did Cole quit?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. We haven't gotten any applicants
We
yet.
have some other applicants that we can look at as well. I mean, not,
I looked at them thoroughly. There's Ted's one of them. There's nobody that's
Colin, am I way off base here?
nobody's qualified out of the applicants so
Okay.
far. I'm not saying we can't find one.
I want to hear Colin's opinion on this, if I'm way off base. If he wants, do you want to bring
Who
this
said
up?
you were way off base?
I can't answer that right now. I am as far as I was concerned, Ted was very, very close to burning all these bridges. Very, very close to doing that with what we had to go through. I think you probably got more brunt of it than I did.
Why don't you bring him in, sit down with him, walk through the issues with him?
I see some advantages to it, but I also see the other advantages. Ted is a very passionate individual, absolutely, with his job. But he kind of went off on a tangent once in a while, and that was one of them. I mean, I'm not sure how much to say, but my interpretation, his desire to get back at the previous trustee was overwhelming. At all costs, I'm gonna do
And
that.
vice versa.
And I think there was a lot of us that was for that. I think the
Well, maybe
majority
so,
of
but
it.
he involved us in
What?
that too,
Who's gonna pull them
which we
down?
had absolutely nothing to
So,
do with.
He's gonna, yeah, he's gonna have to
I'm sorry.
pull everyone down,
Yeah.
so.
So we were drugged into
Wasn't
that.
just
I don't
one.
disagree with you, Ken, but, you know,
If
I
you
stood
want
up
to-
for Ted
well,
many,
probably-
many times.
Could we please consider, you say, okay, he's your kid.
I
If
have,
he does this, if he gets out of this line, doesn't follow these things, we write down some very specific things. Expectations. The township has already invested so much in, when you bring somebody in and you train them over a period of years, and they get to know our area, they know our roads, they know our equipment. Let alone having somebody that's super passionate about showing up for work every day. And yeah, unfortunately that passion carried over, but you saw the county commissioners
I don't,
boil over. Everybody has said they've never seen the county commissioners do that in a meeting. They've never seen it. Who'd they do it to? They did it to our previous trustee. That's what Ted was doing. So he was doing the same thing that the county commissioners did. He did not mean,
County commissioners didn't include us.
I know,
Big difference.
I know.
But the root cause,
But
was there any outbursts that Ted had, or you said he went off on tangents occasionally? Was there any of those that were not caused by the previous trustee?
It may have been, I don't know of any right off.
Was he
But again,
disrespectful?
what I'm talking about is the way he was, I understand that he was after the board. Mainly, he was after one person. But we are the board.
Yeah.
And nobody, you know, we were drugged into something that we had absolutely no control over. We tried to change things.
We seen it,
Well,
We
you guys
appreciate
had
it.
to do all the
And we
work
did all the work.
that he
That we had
requested.
we were basically said, you have to provide all of this. We had a pile of paper about like so, that we spent a lot of time putting together, that we had to submit. We didn't end up having to submit it, but we had to prepare for it.
So the only thing I'd point out there with paperwork and saving time on paperwork, we understand that if we bring him back with what he's capable of doing, that in return, he's going to save a tremendous amount of paperwork going forward, helping with FEMA,
how is he gonna save us,
documentation.
how is he gonna save us any paperwork going
He's
forward?
gonna have more paperwork.
Any of our operators, any operator that you hire is going to do that same documentation. So Ted is not saving us from
Any
any.
operator we hire is gonna do that kind of documentation?
Yes, that's part of the job requirement. We
Yeah, but
had-
they're not gonna do
Mike,
it,
did
there's
you have
not
to do
people
it?
to do it.
Mike had to do it when he was the operator.
Right, but there's not people out there to do it. Did you read those applicants?
You've given it a
Well,
week.
I understand, and we can work hard, but what happens if we go 2 months and we don't get anybody? I mean,
What happens
it's,
if
it's,
we do?
I mean,
What if there's a better Ted?
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
it's not, it's not like,
Am I gonna get in trouble for slandering his name by even mentioning it, and now that it's out on YouTube?
this is open, so if you wanna know, so I talked about that with the county attorney, not for that reason, I can't remember why it came up, but he said, John, and he said, you're a public official now, so get ready for that, and you have to take it, that goes with the territory, so that's part of what we signed up for.
I think we
On
need to
the flip side, he said, you cannot do that to your constituents. So, we have to sit up here and we have to take that stuff, and they can call us names and do other things, but we can't do it in return, or it's
Yeah, but one way to look at it is
you're willing to lose someone on a board to bring someone else back.
Thank you.
And you're not gonna
that's-
find a better
that's-
treasurer.
That's exactly what,
Samantha.
you know, you've gotta look at that, you know, on the pros and cons on that side as well.
Right.
Because she said, if he's back, I'm gone. Doesn't matter. You know.
And I
it's-
stand by that.
Yeah.
I'm under no circumstances.
Yeah, so you have to look at it, from that side, that you're, you know, are we willing to lose?
Randy, your comment?
I was involved in quite a bit of this, in Samantha and Colin. When I'm visiting with the county attorney, I couldn't address one person on the board. It had to be the entire board. So you guys got fallout for something that Tony did,
But
okay?
everyone was willing to have that collateral damage and that fallout against us. Everyone was fine with that.
Who's everyone?
Wait a
Everyone.
minute, let me. Okay, so when, you know, you and I visited, and you were sincere with me, hopefully, and I was sincere with you. You got collateral from what I was doing, okay? The reason they interviewed you was because you are a member of the board, okay? Now, they can't just go interview Tony. They had to interview Colin, you, everybody, and then other people about the situation, okay? It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with Colin, okay? Unfortunately, that's what happens when you're a board. You're gonna get that. Now, with Ted's situation, I don't disagree with you in part, but you got collateral because you're the one providing the paperwork. He is inundated, and I don't disagree with that.
And
okay?
turned us into every organization he could think of,
And-
trying to
and-
get something to stick.
and-
The EEOC, the KHRC,
Okay,
the
Samantha, let me,
Corps of Engineers, every single organization he could think of. I'm just telling the people who
Yeah, 'cause
don't know.
I don't know. I
Because
don't
he
know.
turned us in for everything he could think of. So we were, I guess, under investigation, from all of these different departments, because
I don't know that we were ever under
wait,
investigation.
can I
Okay.
finish,
I'm
please?
sorry.
Sorry, Randy.
I'm sorry, Randy.
I was involved in all that investigation. I knew what was going on, okay? You weren't under any investigation of anything. If you read the final synopsis of the investigation, said, Ted, if you'd like to sue the board, you're welcome to. They dropped it. Nothing. No, there is no investigation whatsoever going on from the AG's office, Attorney General, none of it. It's over. It's done. All of
Now,
all
but
of
it
it,
was, we
okay, wait a
didn't
minute.
know that, Randy.
Huh?
Yes.
We know that now, but we didn't know that 2 weeks ago.
Well, I did.
Well, we
Why
didn't.
wouldn't you? Why didn't you?
Nobody told us until we got that letter you just referred to.
Did you think to talk to the county attorney
About what?
about
We had-
all this investigation?
Actually, we talked about getting an attorney.
No, the county attorney.
Understand?
He called, okay, just so you know, he called the state and visited with them and talked to the person assigned to this situation, and he said, there's no validity to any of this.
But nobody told
Yeah,
us
see,
that.
yeah.
Well, and
That's
also,
key.
that's not
That's
filed
key.
against you.
Yeah.
It's
That's
against
filed the board.
True. And
That's
we're
not against
part
you.
of
But
the
it's a
board.
civil, it's a
And all
civil
the work
penalty.
that
It's
we
my,
had
that's
to do.
my,
I understand.
so how can you say it's not against me when I am on the board and it is a civil penalty against me if it
You
sticks?
have no choice but to file against the board. You can't file against individuals on the board. You have to file against.
Exactly, that's what my whole point is.
Right, but would you agree to this? Do you think Ted Coleman was after you?
No,
Do you think he was after you?
No.
Who was he after?
We know who he was after.
The
but
person that's
point of-
gone.
But,
The
so
point of
when
it is-
Ted
everybody
Coleman
knows.
filed, he was told by the Attorney General's office that he had to file against the whole board. He was
But
after
it's
one
the damage
person.
that was
But
done.
that's exactly.
So don't
That's
take
the
it
damage.
personally.
That's
It's
Samantha's
the
whole
damage
point.
is done and you can't go back and
Yes,
fix
you
it.
can.
It takes time.
It
That
can be
takes time. It
fixed.
takes
No,
time.
That's what my point was with bringing back employees that had left before under very ugly circumstances.
Let me finish.
Yep.
Let me finish,
You
please.
get enough pension, just forgive and go.
Okay, hang on. Let's calm down. Okay? Number one, I don't disagree with either one of you on Ted Coleman, okay? He was blasting 1,000 things. He was throwing darts and mud at the wall, seeing what stuck. Nothing stuck, okay? He was just pissed off with Tony. And that's where it was. But he was advised by the state, you can't go after one person. So he was throwing all this stuff out there. They came to the conclusion that there was no merits to any of the positions that he took, none. So it's over, that's over and done with, okay? Now, with that being said, if I was the trustee and I wanted Ted Coleman back, we'd have a goat come to Jesus talk. You do one more frickin' thing, you're gone. Period. You don't disrespect anybody on the board. You don't go outside of the board. Everything goes through you guys. You don't deal with the public in any way, shape, or form. And if there's anything else done, you're terminated immediately. That would be me. I'm just
That's all I'm asking, if we could possibly set out these things. 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z, you cross this, and we can continue to, we have to continue to look for and hire other people in the meantime. If you wanna say, we are absolutely not considering Ted for the operations manager position, not even gonna discuss that, not under consideration. It's gonna be brought back to help Colson. He's gonna be brought back to run the motor grader, which he's done a good job to help keep the roads. I was shocked when I drove all the roads. I mean, there was like maybe 3 big potholes that I ran across. Our roads are in great condition. And
And they haven't been graded since he left.
yeah, from what I know, they are in the condition that they are in because of Ted. And what you guys, so you hire for Andale, you hire for Dust Troll, anybody, I don't know what your employees are. What's our chances? What's our chances of getting somebody? I need somebody to come in here that can be responsible and do all these things. I'm not an employee of the township. You guys aren't employees of the township. I cannot be worried about what's going on in here every single morning. It's my responsibility as trustee for all this equipment and how it's operated and how it's transported and for the care of our roads. And I've got to have somebody that I can trust.
It's not.
And there would be exactly what he's saying. There would not only be a come to Jesus talk, there would be a come to Jesus strict outline,
And
sign.
then when you fire him, if it came to that,
Yes.
when you fired him,
Yes.
then you're gonna have a lawsuit on your hands. He's already shown those colors. And do we want to go down that
it's a
road?
right to work state.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
I've never
understand
fired
that.
anybody and got sued.
And, okay,
Samantha, you've done a fantastic job. All I'm asking you to do is sleep on it.
my
Seriously.
decision is made.
Kim?
You guys don't understand the amount of anxiety that man caused me, the sleepless nights, the times that I was torn away from my family or snapped at my family because I was so on edge because of 2 a.m. text messages and emails and then these calls from these departments, because yes, I realized that nothing stuck. But what if it would have? Because in the moment, I didn't know whether any of his claims were going to stick with somebody. And guess what? That is a high level of anxiety, and I don't ever want to go back there again. And so I realize you can say, oh, Ted, you can come back, but only if you don't do X, Y, and Z. And then when he gets pissed off and he does all those her right back in that exact same emotional state.
Two things. Did you, when all that stuff was going on, did you contact the county attorney?
About the account, so we got turned in for Kansas Open Meetings Act.
I didn't ask what
and
you got
all of
turned in
that
on. I said,
stuff,
you were all
like,
in this anxiety. Did you contact the county attorney and
The
said,
county-
look what's going on? I'm on the township board here. He's been super helpful for me. He spent 2 hours with me. I texted him this morning about a question, emailed him a question this morning. And they got right back with me. Did you call the county attorney and say, I'm being attacked, my family, it's interrupting all this stuff. I need help. What's going on? What is the county doing to help me? Did you do any of that?
I called the county attorney on one Open Records Request Act. I was told when I called the county attorney that we prosecute people. And so maybe you had a different experience, but Darren didn't say that. Whoever answered the phone that morning when I called said, we prosecute people, you need to find your own attorney. That is the response I was met with.
Samantha, you're mentioning the open records, so that didn't have anything to do with Ted Coleman.
Yeah, it was Ted.
That was me.
No, it was Ted. Ted
No,
had an Open
no.
Records Act. Ted had an Open Records Act. Don't tell me, or records request. Don't tell me that he didn't.
Okay.
Ma'am, you had a comment?
I just was curious, out of all this talk, do you guys carry E&O insurance as a board?
I don't know.
That would protect you guys from any lawsuits like
I don't
this.
think you can sue the township.
You can.
You
He told me that, so I talked with Darren. Darren said you can. I mean, yeah. If a grader operator or one of our employees swerves off the road or goes berserk and runs over somebody's child, absolutely, we're going to get sued.
Okay. The reason I said that, Samantha, was I'm the one that filed the Open Records Act.
You had that one, and then Ted also did. Ted,
But
yours
mine
was
was
different?
an official filing. Ted's was just unofficial. I mean, it was just, I'm telling you, just like throwing mud to a wall.
I'm
He was
aware.
just all over the place. I understand that. But when you and I talked,
We all dealt
you
with Ted.
mentioned that you didn't like the fact that you got interviewed by a detective.
You're
That
right. I
really
didn't.
upset you.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
Do you all like it when the sheriff's
No, I don't
department
blame
calls you and asks for you to come in for something? No.
And why do you think that happened?
They have to.
The previous.
Because of one individual who was very rude to everybody, and I cannot imagine having to work for that man. Can't imagine it.
John,
So you're gonna get fired.
How do you think all the anxiety with hearing that all the work, how many hundreds of hours we put into getting that road paved, and then to have somebody come in because he hates me, for what reason, who in the world knows? I just got a road paved, and we had a lot of people help get it paved. And then, you think, how many sleepless nights do you think all these people had? 62, there's 125 families that use that road.
Same amount.
And we had all that too. And I understand where you're coming from. And it's gonna take healing time. I understand that.
I'm sorry.
not
what
trying
I
to-
did.
I'm just saying, you're not the only one that had a lot of sleepless nights and phone calls out the bazoo.
We're in an ugly situation right now. We had a ship from what I've been told. I've only been here since August of 22 and only been really involved in these meetings since last August. But I understand that we had a ship that was off course. It was put on a great course under Randy and Samantha and Colin, and this ship was steering in a great way. Things were going good. We had an individual come in who took that ship up against some rocks, and that happened. It's over and done with now. We're getting it moved back in the right direction. Colin, would you entertain some very, very strict sets of guidelines where Ted had to report specifically to me, and he's also going to be watched by the overseers, And, you know, we lay out these things. I'd like to do it tonight. I meant to tell all you guys that started this meeting, I mentioned the meeting format was gonna be different. I hope you're enjoying it so far. But I knew this was gonna take this long, and I was gonna say, if we have to be here till 1 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna be here. I appreciate the fact that I don't think anybody's left. But, you know, because you're all interested, you're all passionate about the township, and you wanna see things done right. And I need to get this done because I can't go another month with things the way that they are right now. So
I'd like to see, Samantha, I'd like to see you just rest and think about what people are saying. Because it wasn't against you, it had nothing. Everybody that I've talked to, Randy Mesh speaks highly, everybody that's ever worked with you speaks highly. Don't let one person that could probably do a great job,
You folks.
don't think about resigning, because you're doing great.
We don't want you to leave.
All right, I want to talk about Samantha. You have no idea what she stepped into. How many years ago was that? From the previous treasurer. It took you, what, a good year to get it back up to decent.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows what you're saying.
Well, everybody knows it and we
I
appreciate
told
it.
everybody that
appreciate
listen how
We
she's
don't want
done
her to
wonders
leave.
to that.
I've been to this, I've been here for 55 years.
Oh,
I've
I don't
come to
care.
2 dozen meetings.
40, kid.
Well, gosh, darn it, I put my hand up about an hour ago.
Can I have Randy, would you, Randy, could
What?
you go back to where you started or with, did you guys start at the same time?
Pretty much. She was just right after. You know, honestly, I tell you, when I started, I was a nervous wreck.
It
And
doesn't need to be about me. It doesn't need to be about me.
no, it's
No,
not.
I'm not bad. I'm just
I
saying
sit there right where you.
the
I
ship.
sit there. Man, if we're telling stories, I sit there right where you're at, and I wasn't concerned. Colin kind of had it together and knew that something wasn't right. And Colin said, "There's no way that we got to know where we're at in money, right?" And Joyce, it wasn't her fault. She kind of was she had other things going on, right? Samantha happened to come on about that time, and we figured out we was out of money. What did we call it? Yeah. And so us together put together a budget. Samantha worked really hard on that. Holly worked really hard on that, putting that together. But I mean, that's the story that it was. But I mean, we had it down to a well-oiled. As time went on, we got kind of down to a well-oiled meeting practice, you know, and where it is now is.
That's
I
where
know,
we're
that's what I'm saying.
trying to get it back to
We-
20,
we-
30
we-
minutes meetings.
We had it down to where we could look at the clock and be like, 35 minutes. See you guys next month.
And I've talked to
You
a bunch of
know,
other
what-
trustees that are in the
what are
surrounding
those
area. that
days?
say-
What are those days?
Yeah.
Because that's where it was at. That's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
To answer your question, John,
Yes, sir.
I would have to see a list. Either that or have a board interview with Ted and say, you know, there's a whole lot of hard feelings here. This is the reason why. And I'm not gonna go through it again.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. I will not do it.
Okay.
And I would look him in the eye and I'd tell him that. I'd tell you that. I'd tell anybody that.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. I know what Samantha went through. I think she had it a whole lot worse than I did, but I was involved too. We spent a lot of time. We talked just trying to blow off steam to each other because it was an outlet. I was the same way. There were times that I was quite irritable, and she'll tell you that I was up sitting in the front room staring out the patio doors in the dark because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what Randy just said, that, well, there was nothing to it. Nobody bothered to tell us that. So we went through about, what, 2 months? Maybe a little bit longer, of not knowing whether I'm going to get served with a subpoena to go to court for some lawsuit.
But I don't think you guys understand the folks at Briarcliff were doing as much or more of this than Ted was. The folks at Briarcliff
Maybe
lit
so.
a flamethrower, and they finally got to the,
Well, it would have been awfully nice if somebody would have mentioned that to
well,
us.
I mean, they were here every week, you know, for the 2 meetings I came, first one was the sheriff's officer here.
Couldn't talk.
Couldn't talk,
I
nobody
understand.
could talk. She allowed me to talk one evening.
Yeah, I understand.
But-
We weren't allowed to talk. We weren't allowed to give an opinion.
But
Sorry we didn't
I hope you will
communicate
take that as
Sorry we didn't communicate better. I'm sorry, Samantha. Sorry for the heat you took over it. You didn't sign up for it. And we don't want you to leave.
Well,
We don't want you to leave, and we need to figure out how we're
I
gonna.
guess you're gonna make it, you have a decision to make. Which one do you want?
Mike, if you're, how many hours would you be available to work full-time on the grader? 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week?
I could probably give you 10, 12
I mean,
hours.
don't, if you're in a situation, you got stuff to deal with personally, don't, or put yourself in a situation where you're gonna hurt yourself. So, I'm trying to come up with alternatives here, and how do we get, I guess, Colin, I'm in agreement with you. Samantha, would you sit down with him? I mean, there'd be an opportunity for you to voice all of your feelings at him.
Okay.
It would just be the three of us and him.
I told you where I stand, John. And if that is the direction that you want to go, that's fine. Just let me know.
Alright, so we're gonna have to look. So that brings back to what I try to figure out, what is our hiring procedure? Ted was gone. Cole showed up. There was nothing in the minutes anywhere about that. Talked to Randy briefly about how he handled it in the past with you guys. Walk me through what you guys understand is the hiring procedure for bringing in new people.
What I told him is get an applicant, and then Colin would reach out to them and figure out if they were even gonna show up.
Hey, we had somebody this last time who told us in the interview, yeah, I didn't show up at the last interview I was gonna do for you guys.
So we got to where Colin would vet them, and if they would actually show up, then we would show up.
That's right.
And that's no lie. Yep.
So then we as a board would agree,
Every single person that is hired is a board hire?
we all interviewed everyone, and then
Okay.
we as a board agreed on who to hire. Then they get a drug test, and then we go through all the start stuff. I go through all the HR stuff with them.
Okay.
Do they have to know how to do a motor grader to be able to be a motor grader operator?
We do talk about that, yes.
I mean,
You should do it.
we don't want to see anybody coming and doing our roads. We've had that before.
Can we, what's the time frame that you guys are willing to accept not having an operator?
You're crazy.
Do what?
You're crazy not getting Ted.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
I said, you're crazy not having Ted come back.
Thank you.
It's all an ego thing.
No.
It is. It is.
No idea.
We have had the sleepless nights too.
Hey, I want us to be happy and nice,
I'm sorry.
just discuss.
An ego thing.
Are you saying it's my ego? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we've had many of them over this whole thing.
Really?
No, I said, is it my ego? Is that what you're saying?
I think I'm about ready.
It's an ego thing.
Hey, no, it's fine. We're not making personal attacks.
Yeah, we just had one.
Well, let's not, okay? Please, Colin, please sit down here. We're not making contact with you. What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
Close
the form.
discussion?
Yeah, the form.
Okay.
You need two people.
It's okay. Let's move.
No,
Let's
it's
move.
not.
I didn't mean that. Let's move on. We will continue to look at applicants. We'll continue to search for other possible applicants. And we will do what we said, what the hiring procedure has been.
What do you want the hiring procedure to be, John?
Eventually, if we can make this stuff work and we get a good operations manager in place, we operate, say one of these people, these people down here, we don't need to do that. We don't need to interview these people.
We don't have money for
can-
middle management.
This isn't middle management.
What is it?
This is somebody that's working full time. That's running a piece of equipment every day, and they're filling out the forms, they're submitting the FEMA forms, they're doing everything that we need done. They are not overhead. I'm well aware that we can't afford an overhead position. I despise overhead. We run, the company that I run has 0 overhead. So I'm not asking that any of that go on here. I'm not asking to put a person here in this office. This is gonna be somebody who's working. Now, these people, we need somebody who can train them, look after them. If one of these positions, we put that out, this person interviews those people and then says, this is who I'd like to hire, and then we as a board consider that and vet that person. And say, okay, we can bring, yes, we like your recommendation. No, we don't like that recommendation. Keep on looking. But you know, if we don't get some structure put in place, then you know we're stuck acting as this person, and that doesn't work. I mean, that's not what we're for. That's not what the board is for, and we're not paid to do that. So, you know, the key, the overseers, you know, that's already established. That has to be somebody they're not wanting any pay, and we can't hire, and they're not like a regular employee. So, you know, all this stuff up here, and I just stuck this over here because Colin, I know you have done so much work with the cemeteries. I want to thank you for that. So I don't know if you guys have a differing opinion on where that should be.
That's fine.
You know, then that should be. But you know, those of you that are in business, you know how important it is, you know, to have something like this in place. It's important for us. It's important for the board. It's important for the people. It's extremely important for the employees. And right now we've got Mike helping us how we can, and we've got 18-year-old Colson. That's all we've got.
Due to extenuating circumstances like Brent's health and
Right. That's what happens that's what happens in a business. Happens all the time.
yeah, I'm aware.
It sucks. I make a motion that we adopt this and that we continue interviewing people who might be capable of this position and who would be capable of running the equipment. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's what you're getting at is you're trying to look for an operator that can actually do that kind of stuff.
Correct.
Rather than after an operator that has to be told every step to make.
Yes.
Is that what you're after?
Yes.
So I mean, when you're adding another person, it looks like another person, but it's actually not another person.
Correct. It's not another person. And I went through this. I don't know what you guys discussed as far as what the expectations with Cole were and a time frame for getting him to a point where he was able to do all the things that we would need him to do. But he was only able to do the very bare minimum. He was not capable of doing it very much. He could operate the motor grader, and that's about it.
So what is senior operator and junior operator?
Well, I mean that's kind of thrown in there, and I mean this is flowable. I mean it depends on who's out there and you know what's available. I mean I talked with Colson today. He was here. I pointed at the equipment. I said, which one of those pieces of equipment do you feel completely comfortable jumping in and going and operating? You know, he runs the mower every day. He runs the skid steer. He wants to be trained on this stuff, but he's not looking to stay here and become a full-time employee. He's got a business that he's trying to develop and run on the side.
You're asking for feedback on that as well, right?
Please.
What if you make that senior operator and operations manager on the top one and just get rid of the senior down there?
That's kind of what that's supposed to be. Yes. So Ty, yeah.
Because it's a dual role. We do that a lot with our foremen as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They run the blade and
Yeah.
they're the foreman.
Yeah.
So where do you go to find qualified candidates?
We struggle. We got 14 motor graders and we got maybe eight actual blade hands. That's
And you have
every
benefits.
day. And I have them run the crews as well. It's tough. I mean, we do Indeed, we do word of mouth. We gotta build them is what we have to do. I'm sure Randy.
No,
does
that's
same
the
thing.
problem, is the people that we're looking for is not on Indeed. We have to take people that are young. We've got Colson's twin brother, starting him not knowing, excuse me, shit from shaving cream, okay? And we're hoping to make him with all the other people. We're hoping in 5-7 years that he's somebody, and he will be. And it's a constant inflow of young 18 to 25-year-old guys that you have to build, because we've learned that if you don't build them, you don't have them. Because usually if you have somebody show up to your place that's 35 years old and has all that experience, they're just job hopping. They're going from one place to another, to another, to another, to another. So, I mean.
And I realize it's only been a short period of time, but the next most qualified person that applied from those applications that you sent me, I don't know, hasn't held a job for longer than a year anywhere in his life. And nobody else was even remotely qualified.
And these are discussions you guys can have without us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We got a motion on the floor.
Yeah, do we want to?
You gotta have a second.
So motion.
The motion's to adopt the org chart and continue entering for the operations manager / road grader. Is that correct?
Yes.
With the modification.
Yeah. This is not overhead. This is somebody who's worked. Yeah, I will roll. Yeah, I mean I didn't know how many employees we had, exactly what everybody's role was, and that all changed pretty fast after I came on board anyway. So I need your help budget-wise on this. You say no, this doesn't work, yeah, we combine this. This is too. This was gonna. I had a question mark behind there. I mean, do we need part-time help? That's all gonna depend on what kind of people we have. How fast do they work? How hard do they work? Are they taking their 20 cell phone breaks a day and looking at Facebook and Instagram and everything else when they're supposed to be working? Or are they coming out here to bust ass? So, I vote yes.
No, there's no second.
Okay.
We need a second.
Okay, do I have a second?
I've been doing everything, so I'm gonna let you.
I'll second it. With the modification.
Okay. Now do I need to bring up a vote? Okay, I vote yes.
Yes, question mark.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. I guess, so we got to do more than just Indeed.
word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, everybody. I've had an offer from Augusta Township trustee to put the word out there that we're looking for a blade hand.
Okay, that's where Ed came from. That's the largest builder, all older guys, and they retire.
Maxed out on their capers, ready to double dip.
That's a good point right there.
And
It's a good
if you're
retirement.
gonna find one, that's where you find one, because those guys are just not available. And that's the only, other than the townships, that's literally some of the big earth excavation guys have them, but you don't want them. It's a.
And we don't have benefits.
State employee that's been there 30 years, or always, they'll double dip but, yeah, good luck.
I want to make sure that everybody understands the situation that we're in, employment-wise, grader-wise, and I'll go back to, our timeline on getting 50th taken care of. I mean, that was another thing that Ted is completely capable of doing and is happy to do. I mean, when I had one of the things that I'll bring up later, I want to make sure that all of our trucks get marked because I see this guy in this yellow dump truck out here, and he's patching the holes out there. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And so, you know, when we get our vehicles identified properly, but, you know, Ted's capable and willing to do all that. Ted can help us get 50th. There's just not that many people that could do it, but road overseers, comments on trying to find somebody?
We'll get the word out. In the meantime.
I guess I have a question that I guess I want your guys' opinion on. If we were to, let's say Tom and I were to take advances on 50th, say if we were to want to clean a ditch out or to patch a section out of our own pockets, what does that look like? Is that something that we could do?
I just need to have insurance. I need to have your company's insurance, and I need Benton Township to be listed as additional insured.
Okay.
We'll do that.
So that's no different than cleaning out the ditch like in front of your house or something like that.
I will make a motion that if Dustrel or Andale wants to do voluntary work to get us going on 50th, as long as they provide the board with proper documentation for our insurance company, that we do that. To open for discussion.
Now repeat that again.
I'm making a motion that we,
Dustrel or Andale?
Dustrel or Andale or anybody else that wants to come forward and volunteer. Obviously, I think we need to give preference to people that are in the township.
I don't think you need a motion. You have road overseers, and that's their job.
And I'm a trustee, and that's my job, but I'm trying to.
I don't think we have to have a motion.
Trust me. I can go hire somebody. I mean, again, I'll go back to if you want to look up what the trustee's responsibilities are, I'm responsible for this stuff. I'm responsible for that equipment out there, and this building, and the roads. You're responsible for the finances. He's responsible for the paperwork.
I think she's.
But that's not the way that we want it to work. So, I mean, we want to be, I want your approval, I want his approval, I want us to work good together as a board. So, I know she says she's agreeing with that.
Okay, second.
Thank you.
He doesn't need to get walking on eggshells here.
Right, absolutely.
I think
I don't want us walking on eggshells. I don't want you guys feeling like you have to come and you're walking on eggshells.
That's a little disconnect here. Is everyone been walking on eggshells for too long? We need to get past that.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. So,
Moving
can we
on.
vote on it? I vote yes.
Moving on.
Yes.
Thank you. That'll help. Thank you, gentlemen, for volunteering for that. So that'll help.
I will never be successful.
In the absence of us having somebody who can go out and get started on that in an employee position, having that done, that's going to get us moving and help us get stuff in line for when the county's ready to come in. So that's outstanding.
In the meantime, if we don't have an employee, why don't we look at contractors to do work?
We absolutely can. And FYG has done a good job. We've had good response from the residents, and I'm in contact with them. So and we'll have others. So absolutely.
Or can we? I mean, if we get desperate, can we contact Bruno Township or Murdoch Township and see if we can do some sort of partnership where we pay their daily at the county meeting? They were all talking about sharing resources between townships and collaborating with other townships. So can we?
Yeah.
Now, Samantha, do you run that person as like a 1099 employee? Say if you were to get an operator from Douglas Township that says, you know what, I'm caught up on my stuff, I'll give you guys 10 hours.
Well, we'll have to, if they're, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how that works because Mike, that's what we're doing with Mike right now.
Yeah.
He's just 1099.
Yeah.
He comes in and grades the road or whatever, writes down his time, and that's how we pay him. But how the county was talking at the township meeting, they were Daryl Lutz came back and was talking again about townships collaborating and pooling resources and helping each other out. So I don't know exactly.
Every township that I've talked to seems to me like that's short-lived because everybody feels like you go over and help your neighbor build their fence and then they come over and help you build your fence a little bit.
Right.
And it's the same kind of thing. And so after a while, it gets to where somebody feels like they're getting the
Thank
short
you,
end of the
Arrested
stick.
Man.
Thanks, sorry.
And so that becomes short-lived. And I don't know this personally. I'm just like hearing this second and third party information from other people. So that being the case, if you were to go the next step, if you had somebody that says, you know what, I have a job, but I can, you know, I can work a little bit.
Right.
Can you just,
We can pay him as a contractor, as a 1099 contractor, for sure.
okay, I'm just curious, I guess. If, I mean, I'll tell everybody to listen, but we need somebody. And I just was kind of curious how that would work, because that's gonna
So
almost be
the
the
way the
next
state of
question.
Kansas looks at it is we have to hire them as a W-2 employee if they're coming in regular set hours. You can't pay somebody as a 1099 employee if they are clocking on a schedule.
If we're telling them, if we say you have to be here at 7
Even
a.m.
if they
then-
come,
then-
even if they're just coming in regularly on, it gets really dicey.
I'm aware.
Most of the people I know already have a job, but might have a little bit
Right.
of extra bandwidth or something, and that's why I asked.
So I want to make, just clarify something. Mike, thank you again for your willingness to help. So you're kind of split in between. So you're gonna get with Colin on coordinate with him on any of your sexton duties. And then if you want to if you feel like running the grader, whatever, you're gonna.
Well, the way it's kind of been lately is when the mortuary calls, they contact me.
Right.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I
So
mean,
you're operating that as the sexton, but then if you want to run the grader, or if you just want to run the grader, you know, or we call you and say, hey, we need you. Can you come in
as
for
long as
for this time? Then
yeah,
one of us three will contact you.
as long as I ain't sick or something, but yeah. Because I'm fixing to start some chemo treatment.
And we're just like we need to pray for Brent, we need to pray for Mike. You get through this, and hopefully everything goes
Brent's a
successful.
lot worse than I am, I can tell you that. So, but anyhow, but yeah, I work with Colin and give him stuff. And,
Yeah, we take care of that. It's not an issue.
Good
but
deal.
yeah, and if you get a call in the middle of the night from the sheriff, something needs to be removed, call me.
Good deal.
I'll go take care of it.
Thank you.
Because there has been trees falling down. We can get that out of the way.
Okay. Okay, that covers everything that I have. Treasurer's report.
But I got one other thing before you get done too.
So what?
I've got something for you that I need to talk to you guys about. Culvert.
Okay, we're addressing roads still and stuff, so, okay.
So, a gentleman, Evan Kaufman, called me, and I went and looked at it for you. It's over here at Santa Fe and 40th. He wants to put a driveway entrance off of Southwest 40th, just west of Santa Fe Lake Road, about 200 feet. Do you guys have an objection to that?
How close is that to the substation thing?
The pump station?
Yeah.
It'd be just to the east of where that pump station is, roughly. Right in there on the south side.
So I don't think this needs to be a meeting item, you can just get with these guys.
Talk to these guys.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
So he wants an additional one besides that one that comes out on the blacktop?
He's not putting one there.
There's one there now already.
Yeah.
But he's on the south side though, you're talking.
Oh, he's on the
It's
south
south.
side. Okay,
He's on
I'm sorry.
on 40th, south side of 40th.
Okay,
He's
I
not
thought-
gonna do the one on Santa Fe.
Okay, I'm with you.
So,
Speaking of culverts,
Oh, were there-
what are we doing on 50th with those two cones and the culvert?
Yeah, don't have anybody to do the work.
Well, that's a thing that a contractor can come in and do, if it's.
Right,
requested
yeah,
by-
no, I was
If
waiting
he
for the meeting.
needs help, I'll help him.
I get it. Just tell me I
The
can't.
culvert sitting out there, you want him to do it?
Well, if he wants to do it, go nuts.
Do it.
I mean, you guys, that's your
Probably
guys'
next week.
decision. I'm going
That's
to-
your
The cul-
overseer.
We've already bought the culvert,
It's
the
yours.
culvert's out there, so
I'll have to wait till after the rain, so we'll put it in the mud.
you can give me some rain, that'd be great.
Good deal, Mike.
I'll talk to you guys here after the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Somebody come on.
Go for Samantha.
Okay, in March, general deposit for $2,398.59. Expenses were $10,616.66. Balance is $60,010.89. You can see all of these numbers at the bottom. This is the general fund, March. This is our breakdown. This is our budget, what we as a board decided we wanted to spend. And then this is the total expenses. This is how much is in the fund left.
Okay.
If you want to follow along.
Thank you. All right.
And then flip it over for the road. No deposits, $33,542.71. Expenses, balance of $272,936.72. No change for FEMA or special machinery. We are 25% of the way through the year. Our general fund is at 28%, so slightly over budget, but I'm not too concerned about that. Insurance was taking up the brunt of that. The road budget is sitting at 17%, so we're slightly under budget for the road. Any questions?
Slightly under budget for the road.
So our total budget is 17%.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, so you can look at it two ways. When I say for the road fund, I mean our total road fund. So this is what the county tells us. The county says that for this year we can spend $490,517. We have spent $81,304, so that's 17% of that number. So when I say of the road budget, this road budget is what we decided as a board, and so it is sitting at 15% right now.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, your report?
The only thing I'll report is the dump truck has sold through Purple Wave.
Yep.
You should be getting a check soon, Samantha. I'm not real sure, reading their site, it was either 13,000 or 14,300 that we got paid for.
How do we handle them coming and getting it? Are you
He's
gonna do that?
He called her and he texted me today. He'll be here at 1:30 on Wednesday to get the key. He's already got the title, so it's all his.
Are you gonna meet him? Thank you. That's it? Great. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of laid the agenda format out when I was doing this for going forward for future meetings, so that I just put in this format so the overseer's report. The overseers, do you have a report? We don't. Okay, next month you'll have a report. Do we have any need for executive session? Okay, call to adjourn the meeting. Thank you everybody very much.